All right, jail, everybody's there for first appearance. We're ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good morning, folks. My name is Kurt Hitzemann, County Court Judge in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. Purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I'll determine if probable cause exists for those charges. Probable cause simply means that it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, and more likely than not that you're the person that committed that crime. Of course, as you stand before me today, I presume that you're innocent of those allegations. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings, unless and until the State Attorney's Office is able to prove the allegations against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release this morning. That is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've had a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit, or the warrant which led to your arrest. And we'll determine whether that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date is, and if you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this morning. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you haven't had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. I now need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. You all solemnly swear, affirm, tell truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth? Outstanding. When you hear your name called, I'll have you step forward to the podium. Hang on one second. Okay. And then
we're going to need the language line for it.
I'm going to do those last then.
I didn't realize it's big.
All right, Joyce Coward. Fortunately, the video quality is really poor. Morning, Joyce. What's your date of birth?
7/25/1967.
All right, Joyce. The charge is violation of an injunction. Hang on one second. Probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire a private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Sir, I'm not it's an injunction of 500 feet, and we live in the same apartment, and we live 200 feet apart. So I was supposed to go back to the courthouse this morning and talk to the judge about getting a 25.
That'd be awesome. But for right now, really the question I asked you is whether you want to represent yourself, you're going to hire a private counsel, or would you like the public defender? Just answer that question. There's a lot of things going on in your head, I can see it. But just answer my question.
Well, I don't know what kind of charge is it. Is it a misdemeanor or is it a felony?
It's a misdemeanor, for which you can be punished up to 1 year in the county jail and a $1,000 fine would be the max.
Really?
You're just not going to answer it, are you? You're just going to mess with me. First one out of the gate.
No, sir. I just.
All right. Say yes or no. Do you want private counsel? Are you going to get private counsel? Yes or no? No other words. Yes or no?
Yes.
You're going to get private counsel.
I would like the public defender. I don't understand.
I'm clearly on the naughty list. I'm appointing the public defender. State, what do you got?
Your Honor, she has a book.
Okay, good enough. Joyce, I got this address on Howell Avenue. Is there someplace else you can stay until you get back here and see the judge and get things fixed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
No, I'm on disability.
Okay. I'm going to set your bond at $500. Condition of the bond is you got to abide by that injunction. That means until you get it fixed, You can't go back there on Howell, okay? You got to get it fixed. That's exactly the right answer. Now it's going to be, you're not getting it fixed today, obviously, because it's Friday before Christmas, and there's just a zero chance that you're going to see a judge here in the building this afternoon, because the only one that's going to be is me, and I'm not going to hear your case. Okay, so you're going to have to come back here on Wednesday and try to find a judge and get it fixed. You're going to have to stay out of that address between now and then. You with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're going to be back in court in front of Judge Rupi, mercifully, on the 16th of January. Make sure that you're there, and after you get out, you should also contact the public defender, okay?
I have a court date, January 3rd,
Oh.
with the judge on this charge.
Not on this charge. You got an open battery case?
No, with this stalking charge, it was to go to court January 3rd.
Please don't ask. I'll move this one to the 3rd then. Because that's Judge Rupi too. Alright, so both your cases will be there on the 3rd. Make sure you talk to the PD when you get out, okay?
Okay.
Alright, thanks. That was easy. There's a bottle of Johnny Walker Double Black in my office. Heather Patola? Morning, Heather. What's your date of birth?
11/26/1978.
Heather, the charge is battery being domestic in nature. Hang on one second. There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, Heather, you want to represent yourself? You want to hire private counsel? Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
Oh, man. See how easy that is? I'll appoint the public defender. State, what can you tell me?
Your Honor, I don't believe I have a criminal history for her.
You don't have it, or she doesn't have one?
I
don't have one.
I don't believe she has one.
Okay.
But I would say I don't have one, so
Okay.
therefore,
Okay. She has the look of someone who has just spent her first night in jail.
I believe you're right.
Heather, I've got an address for you on Parkview Street in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long have you lived there?
2 months.
Okay. And up until yesterday, was Zachary living there as well?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
Yes.
What do you do?
I'm a nurse.
Okay.
She's what? Yeah,
All right. So, Heather, I'm going to set your bond at $10. Condition of the bond, however, is that you have no contact with Mr. Wolf. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message. You don't contact him through any social media. Don't have a third person contact him. Don't go where he lives. Don't go where he works. You don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that you might imagine contacting him, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bond will be revoked and you'll be held without bond until the charges are resolved. It means no contact even if he wants the contact. So if you answer your phone and hear his voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see him, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that he cannot drop the charges against you. That's not a decision that he gets to make. He may go to the state attorney's office and ask them to drop the charges. He may tell them he's not interested in pursuing this matter, but that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case tells you the charges are dropped, you should assume they are not dropped and you should not have contact. In addition, I have to hold you up until 4 o'clock this afternoon so that if you wanted to serve you with a civil injunction for protection against domestic violence, we'd know where to find you. If you get a civil injunction, it's doubly important that you not have contact, because in that case, not only could you get your bond revoked here, but you could get new charges for violating the injunction. Now, as far as that address on Parkview goes, if he has left there, I don't have any problem with you going back. If he is still there, you'll have to stay someplace else until we get this case resolved. You can go by one time to collect your things, your clothes, your toothbrush, whatever you need for wherever you plan to stay. To do that, however, you must contact the sheriff's office first. They'll meet you there with a deputy who'll stand by while you get your things and get going where you're going. I'm going to have you back in court on the 16th of January. Very important that you contact the public defender's office when you get out, all right? All right, thank you.
Okay.
Michelle St. Martin. Want to miss what's your date of birth?
6174.
You are here on a warrant that was signed by Judge Merritt. He found probable cause for 1 count of grand theft. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire a private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. State.
Sorry, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I have a motion.
Hey, hang on one second.
Normally I have a little advance time for this, Your Honor.
Oh, wow.
But I asked for this.
I was going to say, this is your idea.
It was my idea, only because, not wanting to sit here all day. Your Honor, she has in 2018 possession of paraphernalia. Looks like she got some 3 months. She has
That's not me, Your Honor.
We are talking about Michelle St. Martin, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I've never been charged with that in my life.
Okay, I'll tell you what, Miss St. Martin, if you'll just be quiet for a second, I'll get to you, and then you can say anything that you wish to say to me. But let me hear from the Assistant State Attorney, and then we'll go to you, okay?
Some of this doesn't have any disposition, Your Honor.
Okay.
Looks as though she was released from Lowell in 2000 and perhaps 14. This just says received, so not sure when she was actually released, Your Honor. On a Berg structure. Several failure to appears in 16. A 16 resisting without no disposition, though, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay. Michelle, I have a residence address for you on West Virginia Lane in Clearwater. Is that where you live?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, where do you live now?
Actually, in Denver, Colorado. And the record that the state attorney is not my record.
Okay. What's the address in Denver?
1101 West 7th Avenue.
Okay. When's the last time you were there? Because the last place I see you were was Orient Road.
Yeah, November 26th. I flew in to visit my children.
Okay. You have a job these days?
No.
Okay. And what's your motion?
For ROR.
Because?
The record the state attorney mentioned is not my record. I've never had any drug charges ever in my life.
You've had charges, right?
Correct, but not drug charges.
Okay. So why are you ROR? You live out of state and you've got a criminal history.
I just was moving back. That's why I was here.
Okay. When are you
My
moving?
son lives in Ocala. My other son lives in Tampa.
So when are you moving back?
I was in the process. I just got off the plane. I have a boarding pass in my property to prove it.
To prove that
I
you're going
literally
back to
just
Denver?
No, that I was coming back to Florida to live.
Okay.
I hadn't got an address yet.
Okay. I don't know if my reputation is as a person who's harsh and cruel, but I don't think it is. But you're not an ROR in my book. I will set your bond at $1,000. I did appoint the public defender. You'll be back in court on the 16th of January. When you get out, make sure you contact the public defender right away, okay? Thank you.
Sir.
Jessica Winters?
And, Your Honor, just for her knowledge, I'm making a note that she says that that's not her record, so they need to look into it.
Okay. Jessica, what's your date of birth?
2489.
Jessica, you're here on a warrant that was signed by Judge Rupi. Apparently, you failed to appear in her court on a charge of providing false name.
Your Honor?
Just hang on. And please state, is this the sort of thing that could get resolved today?
Sure, Your Honor. Give me just 1 second. Your Honor, actually, the state's offer was an adjudication, credit time served, fines, and court costs.
Okay. Jessica, you want to take time served and be done with this?
Yes, Your Honor, I would.
All right. You understand by entering a plea today, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, the right to have a lawyer represent you, but you want to give up those rights so we can resolve this today?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Case number 18 MM2671 asks the charge that you gave a false name. How do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
No contest.
I'll accept that plea, find it is freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty. I'll sentence you to 1 day in the county jail. Credit 1 day served. There'll be a fine and court cost of $5.53 and $50 for the night in jail. But that takes care of it, Jessica. If there's nothing else keeping you in the jail, you'll be released today, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Another satisfied
I was
customer.
going to say, I think you made some.
Jordan Albert. Morning, Jordan. What's your date of birth?
6/1981.
All right, Jordan, the charge is actually, it's a warrant that I signed. I found probable cause for 1 count of battery being domestic in nature. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire a private counsel, would you like the public defender?
Public defender, Your Honor.
Appoint the PD, state.
Your Honor, he may have an open Pasco sexual assault case going on. He does have a possession of paraphernalia, criminal mischief, all in 2012, violation of pretrial release for domestic violence, domestic battery. All this is in 2012, Your Honor. He also has another battery in 2012. I show that he has a burglary, burnt dwelling, may have been pled down to a burnt structure, Your Honor, in 2007. That about sums it up.
Okay. And, sir, I have an address for you on Gray Court in Spring Hill. Is that where you've been living?
Yes, sir.
How long have you lived there?
6 years, 7 years.
Okay. And you have a job these days?
No, not at this time.
Okay. And are you were you living with Brandy, or are you not living with
Yes.
her anymore?
Yes, I was.
Okay. All right. I'm going to set the bond at $5,000. Condition is that you have no contact with Brandy. Did you hear me explain no contact earlier?
Yes.
And you understand that?
Yes.
Also hold you up until 4 p.m., so if she wants to serve you with an injunction, we know where to find you. I'm going to have you back in court on January 16th. As far as that address on Gray Court goes, as long as Brandy's there, you'll have to find someplace else to stay. You can go back one time to collect your clothes, your toothbrush, but to do that, you got to contact the sheriff's office first. If you bond out, make sure that you contact the PD right away, otherwise they'll come see you at the jail, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm
John
sorry,
DiStefano,
when was that court date for?
the 16th of January. It's a felony battery, second or subsequent.
Right.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
March 4th, 1950.
All right, John, the charges are battery, possession of marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia. Please hang on 1 second.
I didn't hear the last thing you said, sir.
I said, please hang on 1 second. I got to read the PC affidavit. We're kind of doing this on the fly right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's probable cause for the charges. John, as to those charges, you want to represent yourself? You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
I would most likely represent myself.
Okay, very good. State what can you tell me?
No record, Your Honor.
All right, and John, I have an address for you on Campanero Antra out on Hernando Beach. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
Since 2012, sir.
All right. Do you have a job these days?
No, sir, I'm retired.
Okay. What did you used to do?
I was a building inspector.
Did you do that here in Hernando County?
No, in New Jersey, sir.
Okay. All right, you said no history?
No history, Your Honor.
All right, John, on the battery, I'll set your bond at $500. On the marijuana and the paraphernalia at ROR, so your total is $500. Condition of that bond is that you not have any contact with the young lady, April Lachlan. Doesn't sound like that'll be a problem. We'll have you back in court on the 16th of January, okay?
Is it possible to get ROR for all three charges, sir?
John, you came in at $3,000 and I set you at $500.
I'm sorry?
I said you came in at $3,000 and I just set you at $500. That's a win. That's as good as it gets.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Timothy Fountain. Want to Tim, what's your date of birth?
3785.
I have two warrants for you today. One signed by Judge Merritt and one signed by Judge Toner. They both are failed to appear warrants. On Judge Merritt, it's felony driving on a suspended and possession of paraphernalia. On Judge Toner, it's felony petty theft. Did you have an attorney on these cases, Tim, a public defender or a private lawyer?
I had a public defender.
Okay, do you want to continue with the public defender?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In Judge Merritt's case, he set your bond at no bond. I'm not going to change that. You'll be back in front of him. What's my Judge Merritt date?
I have Judge Merritt has a 1/8 date and a 1/22 date.
We'll go 1/8. On the Judge Merritt case, I'll have you back on the 8th of January. It looks like they told you the 16th. The right date is the 8th. Judge Toner's warrant also is no bond. That one will be the 16th. And the public defender will come see you before you go to court. All right, Tim?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. John Glover. Morning, Sean. What's your date of birth?
March 7th, 1998.
All right, I got a warrant for you out of Pasco County. It's a failed to appear on a marijuana charge. The judge that issued that warrant set your bond at $513. I can't change that. Pardon me?
I wasn't here when I had to go to court.
I doubt they'll charge you with the crime of failing to appear, but this is how they get you back on the docket down there.
All right.
So the bond is the $513. If you can post that bond, then you go down to Newport Richie, find out when they want you in court. If you can't post it, I'll give Pasco 5 days to come get you. Doesn't take 5 days with Pasco, but if for some strange reason you're still here in 5 days, they'll bring you back to see me and I'll find out what the holdup is, all right?
All right.
All right. Austin Halterman?
Judge, I was told this morning that he might have taken care of that in Judge Toner's court.
Halterman?
Your Honor, he's in felony court.
Okay, and they're dealing with it up there?
Yes, they did already.
Okay, awesome. Justin Howie?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning, Justin. What's your date of birth?
4/28/1987.
All right, Justin, the charge is driving under the influence. Hang on 1 second. Okay. There's probable cause for the charge, Justin. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself? You want to hire private counsel? Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
I'll take a public defender for now, sir, unless I hire a lawyer.
Very good. I'll appoint the public defender for now. State, what can you tell me?
Your Honor, he looks like prior no valid driver's license and a duelist back in 2009. That appears to be, he's a convicted felon, but I'm not sure.
No, ma'am, I'm not a convicted felon.
Okay. In any
Well,
event.
then I'm not sure what the criminal registration on his record is for then.
Justin, I have an address for you on Legend Street in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
Been there for 8 years, sir.
Do you have a job these days?
Yes, sir. I'm the lead electrician at Rayco Electric. I've been there for 3 years, and I was actually just being recruited by Pasco County.
Okay. I'm going to set your bond at $500. Condition, there is no condition of the bond. I'll have you back in court on the 16th of January, all right?
Yes, sir. One more thing. I've not been able to make a call to let my family know that I'm okay.
Okay.
They never issued me any kind of pen to use a phone, and I'd really like to.
Okay, they're going to let you do that. They're going to let you do that this morning, all right?
Yes, sir. Thanks, sir.
Very good. Carlos Milan Gonzalez. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
March 28, 84.
You are here on a warrant signed by Judge Scaglione. He found probable cause for one count of sexual battery by a person in custodial authority under the age of 18. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself and hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
I have a private attorney.
Very good. And state, what can you tell me?
Your Honor, this appears to be the only, from what I can tell, the only arrest.
Okay.
There was something out of Pasco County, but I don't know what it was.
Can I talk?
Hang on a second.
You may not want to.
Thank you.
It may have been an additional sexual assault charge, but I don't want to
Okay, that's
say that
okay.
it definitely was.
That's okay. All right, Carlos, I have an address for you on Home Street in Webster. Is that where you live?
No, not anymore. I'm gonna live in Tampa.
Okay. What's your address?
I don't know the address. On the paper. I have a DLC hold.
Oh, well, there you go. You're not going anywhere. All right, how much DOC time you got pending?
I signed for 24 months, and I have 20 months already.
Okay. You've got 20 months in already?
Yeah, 20 months in Pasco.
Okay. Okay.
The girl accused me. She signed a paper.
Okay, stop, Carlos, stop. We don't want to talk about the facts, okay? I'm going to leave your bond per Judge Scaglione's warrant, which is $25,000. Because you're close to your EOS, I'm also going to order a condition of that bond that you have no contact with the alleged victim, no contact with any human being under the age of 18, and if you were to get out, you'd be subject to GPS monitoring at your expense. This case will be back on the 16th of January. Make sure you tell your lawyer about this date, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Paul Scrutcheon?
Morning.
Morning, Paul. What's your date of birth?
10/24/82.
Well, first thing I have is a warrant signed by Judge Scaglione. He found 3 counts of probable cause for 3 counts of burglary of a conveyance. The second is a warrant signed by Judge Rupi. She found probable cause for 5 counts of burglary of a conveyance. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire private counsel, would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD, Steve.
Oh, Your Honor, it's lengthy.
Okay. Give me the last couple of years.
Well, in 16, he registered as a sexual offender. 17, there's petty theft, looks like a first offense. There is another petty theft in 17. There's burglary. 2 counts of burglary convictions in 18. Trespassing in 18, Pasco County. Burke structure.
That's all this year?
That's what it looks like, Your Honor.
Oh, you got a DOC hold, or you serving a sentence? What's going on?
Oh, see? Yeah, no, they, I had, was sleeping in a car and he dropped me down a trespass.
So you're done in Pasco?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
No prison sentence?
No.
Okay.
There we go.
Can I speak?
Sure.
All those burglars are sleeping in the car. It's nothing, like, that's why they only gave me like 60 days. Cause it's
Okay.
like they're sleeping in the car.
I get you.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah.
Okay, I have an address for you on Water Tower Drive in Hudson. Is that where you live?
I'm homeless. 19 and 52. I sleep behind Sable Lot.
Okay. You have a job these days?
Labor ready, people ready.
Okay.
One more question, Your Honor.
Sure.
Was all these burglaries at the same location? Can you check for me, please, sir? At the, she said something about a big dinosaur. That's all I remember.
Yeah, the first 3 were all at Quality Car Care. And the 5 were Harold's Auto.
Was anything damaged, anything like that? Or, I don't know.
Well, you don't necessarily have to damage something, but here's what I'm going to do. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 counts. So I'm going to set your bond at $1,000 on each count. That's a total of $8,000. I'm going to have you back in court on the 16th of January on all of them. If you get out, you can go see the PD. If you can't get out, I'll have.
Sir, I can't get out anyway. I'm homeless. I ain't got. I was going to ask. Nothing was damaged because I had been up for like 7 days and I was like chased by raccoons and something.
Oh, you got it.
I'm not lying. No, I'm swear to God.
It happens all the time. I'm sure you're not lying, but all I can tell you is that I reduced the bond by 80%.
Yeah.
That's the best I'm going to do. If you can't get out, then you can't get out, all right?
Well, it's not my problem. It's the raccoons that keep chasing me, man. I swear to God.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what, Paul. If they would ever arrest the raccoons and bring them here, I'd give them a high bond.
I know they got something against black people down here. I don't understand. I'm from Texas.
I got nothing against black people, man. I got something against raccoons, but nothing with black people.
Okay.
You're good to go.
Thank you, brother.
You bet. Zachary Taylor.
Oh, God. Was that a January 16th court date?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Zachary, what's your date of birth?
8/13/83.
Zachary, the charge of battery being domestic in nature. Hang on 1 second. There's probable cause for the charge, Zachary. Yes to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire a private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public.
I'll appoint the PD, state.
Your Honor, this appears to be his only arrest here in Florida. He does have out of state, I want to say it's Illinois history. He has a DUI in 2008. Reckless driving. There's a possession, another DUI in 2006-ish. Possession of paraphernalia back in, I have no idea, 2005.
Okay. Zachary, I got an address for you on Freeport Drive in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
That's correct.
How long have you lived there?
About 2 years.
Ashley lives there as well?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have a job these days?
Yes, sir. Well, depends on what they say when I get out of here.
Okay. What was your job?
I'm a garage door technician.
Okay. Who do you do that for?
D&D Garage Doors out of Ocala.
Right. Okay. You set the bond at $1,000. Zach, condition is that you have no contact with Ashley. Did you hear me explain no contact earlier?
Yeah, I did.
Did you understand it?
Yeah, no contact. I mean, I can't.
All right.
Yeah.
Just checking. Also got to hold you up till 4 p.m. So if she wants to serve you with a civil injunction, we know where to find you. As far as that address goes, as long as she's staying there, you're going to have to find someplace else to go. You can go by one time to collect your things, but you got to contact the sheriff's office first. You'll be back in court on the 16th of January. Very important that you contact the public defender when you get out, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You said the bond.
1,000. Rachel Perez.
She's at Connor's Court, Your Honor.
Okay.
Was that the one we did this morning?
What's that?
We did.
Did we? Perez? No, we did somebody else. Johnson.
Oh, we have two James.
Yes, they speak Romanian, Ray, so just hang on, we'll get there.
Rachel Perez.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I can tell you about Perez while we're waiting.
What's the charge and what's the deal?
Well, the deal is that Devin Sharkey sent me an email asking if we could get her into court to resolve her misdemeanor or get the bond reduced. Evidently, that would help her out with a felony.
Okay.
On which case?
Perez, 18 MM 3736. Okay, well, we'll see if she's in the building. Let's see if we can get her down here. And in the meantime.
This case came from felony court. I believe it was remanded back to us.
Okay, well, she's apparently in front of Judge Stoner right now.
Oh, but she still has some felonies, just not this one.
Right. Okay.
All right.
Okay, and Corporal, you got a couple of Jane Does for me, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Hang on one second while I begin this utterly futile exercise.
We can get some raccoons to chase you if you need it.
We're going to use the phone? That's good.
Well, it's not good.
You haven't used it.
And Corporal Walton,
Yes, Your Honor.
we think it's Romanian, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good.
Welcome to Language Line Solutions. Please enter your 6-digit client ID. For Spanish, press 1. For author, press 2. Please speak the name of the desired language.
Romanian.
I understood. Romanian. If this is correct, say yes or press 1. If this is incorrect, please enter access code followed by the pound sign. Please hold for an interpreter.
Thank you for calling Language Line Solutions. This is Orlando's ID number 254780. I'll be a Romanian interpreter today. Is your customer with you? Do you need me to call them for you?
My name is Kurt Hitzemann. I'm a county judge in Hernando County, Florida. I have two young ladies here who tell me they speak Romanian. They're here for a first appearance, a court appearance. So I know almost nothing about them. I'm going to have the first one step up to the microphone, and then we'll go from there, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. Go ahead, Corporal. Give me Jane Doe 1. All right. And Corporal, were you hearing the interpreters?
A little bit.
Okay, we'll give it a shot. All right. So, Mr. Interpreter, here we go. Young lady, what's your name?
Alo, bună ziua, eu sunt translatorul convorbirii. Care e numele dumneavoastră, domnișoară?
Mă numesc Petrache Mirabela.
Ever get closer?
Petrache Mirabela.
Get closer to the microphone. Yeah.
Apropiați-vă mai mult de microfon. She said, my name is Petrache Mirabela, and this is interpreter. I think Petrache is the last name because in Romania they used to say the last name first.
Okay. Can you spell the last name for me, sir? Do you know how it would be spelled, or ask her how it's spelled?
Cum se scrie numele de familie? Părintele.
Petrache, numele de familie, Mirabela, numele mic.
Dar cum se scrie? Pe litere. Spuneți-mi pe litere cu litere.
Păi nu știu să vi spun pe litere. Petrache, Mirabela.
Interesant. So she doesn't know how to spell it, but I can do it for you. It's gonna be P for Peter, E for Echo, T for Tango, R for Romeo, A for Alpha, C for Charlie, H for Hotel, E for Echo.
And that's what we would consider a last name?
Yes.
And what's her first name?
Numele mic care e?
Mirabela.
Mirabela. That's gonna be M for Mike, I for India, R for Romeo, A for Alpha, B for Bravo, E for Echo, L for Lima, A for Alpha.
And what is her date of birth?
Care e data de naștere?
84, 20 decembrie.
December the 20th, 1984.
She has a charge of petty theft, and I found probable cause for that charge.
Are o acuzație de furt din buzunare și am găsit cauze probabile pentru această acuzație.
As to that charge, would
Din
she like...
buzunare?
She said something. Go ahead.
Ce-ai zis, Dănuță?
Poți să mai repiți o dată, te rog?
Ești acuzată de furt și avem circumstanțe probabile pentru această acuzație.
Nu, domne, într-un magazin am plătit toate lucrurile. Ne-am grăbit și le-am plătit în niște pantofi și niște haine. Într-un magazin.
Se numește furt dacă ai ieșit din ele fără să le plătești.
Da.
Okay, so no. We paid for all the goods. We just were in a hurry and some items we did not pay for.
Okay. And we're not going to settle any of those issues today. I just want to know if she'd like me to appoint her an attorney to represent her.
Nu vorbim acum despre ce s-a întâmplat sau nu. Vrem să știm dacă vrei să îți dăm un avocat să te reprezinte sau nu.
Da.
Yes.
I'll appoint the lawyer. And then, Detective, can you tell me, is there an asshole?
Your Honor, we can identify who she is, so I've contacted ICE. She's provided different spellings of her name. I believe we ran her fingerprints, and we don't have any identification on her at this point.
Okay. And, sir, can you ask her if she holds a Romanian passport?
Ai pașaport românesc cumva?
Nu, am la imigrație când am venit la intrare în America.
No, I gave the passport to the immigration services when I entered the United States.
You can tell her that for today I'm going to continue to hold her without bond because we're obviously having trouble confirming who she is and how she's here.
Da, pentru astăzi o să te reținem în continuare fără cauțiune pentru că avem o problemă, nu putem să ne dăm seama cine ești și ce cauți aici.
I will
Vă
have her
spun eu
back.
tot ce vreți să știți.
I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know.
Okay. I'm going to have her back in court on January 16th, and her lawyer will come see her at the jail.
Da, o să vin apoi la tribunal în data de 16 ianuarie, până atunci o să vină avocatul să te vadă la pușcărie.
And that's all for today for her.
Your
Și
Honor,
asta e tot pentru astăzi tine.
if she can tell us where she encountered immigration when she crossed the border, that would help us to identify possibly who she
Okay.
is.
Corporal, have her come back. And sir, can you ask her where she made entry to the United States? What city?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mai avem o întrebare pentru tine. În ce oraș ai intrat în Statele Unite? În ce oraș?
Mexic. În America, Texas.
Da. Texas e un stat. Orașul? No, she doesn't. I think she doesn't know this is interpreter. She said Texas. I entered from Mexico through Texas, but I just tried to explain to her that Texas is a state and we need a city. But she said Texas.
Și sunt scrisă la imigrație din Tampa.
And I'm registered with immigration from Tampa.
She the one with the ankle bracelet on?
Can you ask her if one of these young ladies is wearing an ankle monitor from Immigration and Customs Enforcement? Are you going to ask if she has that ankle monitor?
Da, una din voi are, știu că are brățară la picior. Tu ești aia cu brățară la picior?
Da.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm still going to hold her until the 16th of January. All right?
Bine, oricum te ținem închisă până în 16 ianuarie.
Okay, thank you.
Păi de ce, domnule? De ce nu mă țină? Ce am făcut?
Why do you give me home? What have I done?
Well, she's accused of a theft, and we're trying to confirm her status through Immigration and Customs Enforcement, and I can't let her go until I know what Immigration and Customs Enforcement wants to do with her.
Okay. Da, ești acuzată de furt și încă n-am confirmat statutul tău emigrațional cu cei de la imigrație și cei de la Poliția de Frontieră. Și așa că nu putem să-ți dăm drumul până nu stabilim cu ei ce vor ei să facem cu tine.
All right, thank you. In a second, I have another one. We'll have her up. Okay, and will you please ask her what her name is and get the spelling if that's possible?
Yes. Alo, eu sunt doamna convorbirii, să-mi spui, te rog frumos, numele și cum se scrie.
Da, mă numesc Ghiocel Savanta.
Mai tare.
Mă numesc Ghiocel Savanta.
Cum se scrie?
Da? Sunt născut 1980, 1 aprilie.
1 aprilie?
Da.
Cum se scrie numele? Ghiocel, pe litere, te rog.
Nu știu pentru că nu știu carte.
Deci ești analfabetă, ok. Alright. So, this is the interpreter. The lady is illiterate. She doesn't know how to read and write. Okay, so the first name she said is Samantha. That's gonna be S for Sierra, A for Alpha, M for Mike, A for Alpha, N for November, T for Tango, A for Alpha.
Nu, Savanta, nu Samantha.
Da, Samantha, e ce-am zis, nu e Samantha?
Nu, Savanta.
Savanta?
Yeah.
Da.
Oh, so it's Savanta, it's S-A-V-A-N-T-A.
And the last name?
And the last name, Ghiocel. G-H-I-O-C-E-L.
And please ask her her date of birth.
April the 1st, she already said, 1980.
And she also has a charge of retail theft, and there's also shoplifting for our probable cause for that charge. And I need to know if she'd like a lawyer.
De asemenea, ești acuzată pentru furt din magazine și avem cauze probabile pentru această acuzație. Întrebarea noastră este, vrei avocat?
Da, dar ne cerem scuze și mă sunt și vinovată. Deci cerem scuze în fața domnului procuror. Pentru că acasă avem și copii, avem și familie, aici în Tampa. Și cum decide domnul procuror?
Yes, I want a lawyer, but I also want to apologize in front of the prosecutor and in front of you, Your Honor, because we have family at home, it's difficult, and we want to apologize for what we did.
Very good. Is she in possession of her remains?
Nu, n-am
No.
pașaport.
I don't have a passport.
And does she know where she came into the United States?
Știi cumva pe unde a intrat în Statele Unite ale Americii? Pe unde a intrat în America?
Mexic.
Mexic.
She doesn't know
Dar pe
either.
unde? Dar pe ce oraș a intrat tu din Mexic în America?
În ce oraș? Stați puțin, nu mai țin minte. Orașul care a fost e de mult, e un an.
Okay, very good. So the same thing, I'm going to hold her without bond. She'll be in court on January 16th, and her lawyer's going to come see her. And the reason is the same because we have to figure out what Immigration and Customs Enforcement is going to do.
Bun, la fel și pentru tine, te vom ține până în 16 ianuarie cel puțin, atunci vei avea iar tribunal, până atunci o să vină avocatul să te viziteze la pușcărie. Motivul pentru care te ținem este pentru că trebuie să vorbim cu cei de la imigrație și de la Poliția de Frontieră să vedem ce vor să facă cu tine.
And that's it. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, thank you for using our services and enjoy the rest of your day. Happy holidays.